Good morning, everyone. This is Christy from Cherry Berry Quilts, and I wanted to take a moment and go over the scan and cut machines that we've got in the store, just to kind of give you an idea of how they can help you and enhance your fun and your toys. So this is our 230DX that I'll kind of be going through today, just to give you a brief idea of what's already built into the system. This works as a scanner, also as a cutter. So with doing that, you can scan in your different designs. You can also create from coloring book designs, and you can make your own appliques, your own cards, you name it. You can work with it on this. So what we're going through today, I'm just going to kind of show you. We've done everything from cutting fabric here, cutting out templates for hand piecing. We've done cards, we've done pleather, fabric, cork, fussy cutting appliques. We've done mylar templates for doing English paper piecing. There's rhinestones. You can do my absolute favorite, which is applique machine embroidery. And with this, I was able to go through my scrap basket, scan in my pieces of fabric that I had, orient the pieces to get the stripe directions that I wanted. You can see my little scrap here from doing this little guy, and place it how I wanted to. All of that being cut on the machine instead of sitting there pulling out my hoop, trimming it down after every tack down for every single piece. Much, much, much faster. The other thing I've been able to do is go through and pull out designs like this. Is from my EQ8 program. This is a quilting design. I like the flower shape. I didn't like how fussy it was. So what I did is I traced off the pieces that I wanted, and I made my own little quilting template out of the stencil plastic. The nice thing about having this design that I can scan in, I can resize it. So if I have a 12-inch block, 6-inch block, doesn't matter. I can resize this. The other thing I worked on last night, just to kind of give you a quick show of how fast this is I did a card with envelope just on the machine, drawing it in with the patterns that are built into the machine, traced it out, did it on metallic paper with cardstock. There's my envelope telling me what size that I need to make my paper, how many pieces I'm going to have. This is the inside liner. This is the outside of the card. This is if I want to draw the lines on there. All you have to do, we're going to cut that particular one and say OK, pulls it in, and I can set it down. If you're doing this on patterned paper or something that you want to fussy place the design, you can scan that in, see it on your screen, and move your card, your envelope or your card where you want it to be. Okay? So we're going to go back on this, and I'll show you something else that we've been playing with. This is another one of the designs that's built in. So we're going to go into our patterns again, and we are going into this one. I'm going to scroll down. You can see a little bit of just how much is already built into here. Again, this design started out as 4 inches. This is a lot bigger than 4 inches. So we just blew it up. And so it makes it easier for you to see on the camera. I'm going to blow it up again, and we'll just rescale it. Now you can see, there we've got our design. Since all of the layers are connected like this, it's very easy to cut in paper, but there's no reason you couldn't also cut this in vinyl. Or you could also cut it into heat transfer vinyl and put it on a shirt. The other thing that we have in there is a ton of built-in fonts, all different kinds. Type in your own message, just like I did for the card here. You can type in your message, you can rotate it on there, you can change your spacing, you can change the sizing on it. You can either do it as an outline or as a filled pattern on there. The next thing we're going to go through and show you is some of the different things that we've cut out in detail. Okay? Some of the designs are already built into your system. So with this is in our quilting patterns. This was one of the pieces that I pulled up. I'll show you in here. Have different blocks already programmed in there. And that's not to say that if your block is not in here, you can, if you know what the size of the shape is that you need, you can use basic shapes and do the same thing. Is it something that I would cut an entire quilt with? Probably not. But if you're doing like a sampler quilt, or if you're doing just one or two things and you're wanting to fussy cut things, this would be a big help for you. Again, we can scale our block up however you need to. We'll do it a weird 7-inch size. And you can see it's going up just incrementally. So you can be pretty precise in your sizing. When we go into this screen, this is showing me all the different pieces I need to cut. So let's say we do A. It's showing me now that I have 4 different A squares that I need to cut. I say OK. It's telling me here I've got 4 that it's going to put onto the screen. If I want to do more, say like I'm doing 2 blocks, I can easily bump that up to 8. And now it places it. And you can adjust these where they're placed, how they're placed, again, scanning in your fabric that you have put onto your paper or onto your mat, and moving these where you want them if they're fussy cuts. Okay? The other thing we can do on this is we can also have it draw the seam allowances. So a lot of people have gotten into doing hand sewing and hand piecing because we have a lot of downtime waiting for kids at the soccer field. We're waiting in doctor's offices, keeping somebody company while we're watching TV. Using the pins, there's 2 that are included with the 230DX of air erasable and heat erasable. This is drawn with permanent just for the camera purposes, but you can mark on there so you have your seam allowances for your piecing and then take it out. The seam allowances will be gone. Kind of give you a little bit more detail. For true fussy cutting, this was fabric that was treated with Terrio Magic. We scanned it in. We selected that we're cutting it as an outline, and we just trimmed it out. You could also do this with your heat and bond if you want to do little patches or appliques onto stuff. This is again one of the built-in designs cut out of pleather. So for those of you who really like to decorate for the holidays, that's something to consider. All the different marine vinyls that are out there, all the little pleathers and corks and all kinds of stuff that you can play with for decorating. We also have the rhinestone starter kits. So if you're buying the 230DX, that does include a small rhinestone starter kit that has the brush and a little set to get you out going and at least familiar with the process. Our bigger set here, this is for a 12 by 12 design area. It does not have the brush in it, but it has a stylus. It has the felt papers for you to do your designs with. That's enough to get you up and playing. Easy way to take a $2 Gildan t-shirt and make it into a $40 craft show shirt. We do carry a starter pack also of the hologram heat transfer vinyls, just different colors in there. This was a lot of fun. Hadn't seen it anywhere in the market, so we got it in for you. Put that up there. Alright, so we've kind of given you a little bit of teasers of what you can and can't do with this machine. Well, not can't do, because you can do quite a bit. But just to kind of give you a heads up, next month we'll be doing a beginning class on doing paper cutting using the machine, getting familiar with it. The reason why we're starting with paper instead of fabric, you'd think we'd start with fabric because we're, a quilt shop. We're starting with paper because it's the easiest medium for you to get into, and learning how to use your machine, learning what the sounds of it are like. And it's a little less temperamental for you to get headed into. So we're going to go through doing cards, working with the fonts that are already built into your system, how you can do layering up for different decorations. We'll touch a little bit on the free projects that are available in Canvas and how you can pull those into your computer and into your machine so that you can cut those projects and do your own little paper gifts. And the next class after that, we'll be working on doing the fabric cutting. Doing it for the machine applique like I showed you with my little Constructosaurus quilt. And also you can do apply it to stuff like the Kimberbell Club. I know quite a few of you are really into that, and that'll help in a lot of areas. And also doing your templates. Hope that is a good start for you. If you have any questions, feel free to come into the store. I'm more than happy to go through some of the projects with you and answer any questions that you have. Have a good day.